What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Brock Lesnar's return is not an issue for WWE, Vince McMahon back on television, WWE are not ready to do this to Cody, a wrestler suffers 2 strokes, a WWE fan was hit with Brock Lesnar's Pyro, a former WWE champion quits wrestling, The Undertaker criticizes the locker room for this, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Brock Lesnar's return is not an issue for WWE. Now, if you're wondering why WWE suddenly brought back Brock Lesnar after a 2-year absence from television, well, we've discussed how John Cena wanted a program with Lesnar, hence Lesnar's return at SummerSlam, and Triple H's recent remarks that he wanted to bring Brock back home to WWE. But fans are still curious why WWE's legal team cleared him. There seem to be some concerns with WWE bringing Lesnar back to the company after he was indirectly mentioned in the Janelle Grant lawsuit against McMahon and WWE. And as we've noted before, Brock wasn't named as a defendant in the suit. However, WWE's legal team was reportedly hesitant to clear him to return, but it's been reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Lesnar was paid his guarantee during his time off WWE television, and he was always going to return when legal cleared him. Legal cleared him about 1 month prior to the show, which was kept secret and allowed for the return. But what about Nick Khan's attitude? Well, the report mentioned Nick Khan's attitude as a general rule is that unless there's a criminal conviction, it's not an issue. At WWE feel like they made the right decision as Brock Lesnar is still a massive draw in WWE. Next up, Vince McMahon back on television. And now that Brock Lesnar has returned to WWE, fans might be shocked to learn that Vince McMahon is making a rare public appearance. However, it won't be on WWE television as a former WWE Kingpin will appear on Tuesday's TMZ Presents The Real Hulk Hogan Show airing on Fox on 12th August. The show will feature interviews with former industry figures, current talent, and celebrities. And as Wrestling News summarized the press release for this Tuesday's show, they noted the list of interviewees includes actor Sylvester Stallone, former WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, and WWE Hall of Famers Mick Foley, Bill Goldberg, Jimmy Hart, and Mark Henry. It's safe to say that Vince isn't returning to WWE anytime soon, if ever, but that isn't at least until the Janelle Grant lawsuit is resolved. Even if Vince is vindicated, some fans and industry observers feel that he's too controversial to bring back. Do you think he'll ever return? Next up, when will Seth vs Roman happen? Are fans going to see Seth Rollins vs Roman Reigns in the near future? Fans have clamored for one more match ever since the inconclusive 2022 Royal Rumble match, which Seth won by disqualification. Now WrestleVotes is reporting that WWE is planning it but saving it for a huge PLE. We feel that WWE may wait until WrestleMania 42. Next up, WWE are not ready to do this to Cody. Our fans have heard considerable chatter about Cody Rhodes turning heel, including how it could have gone down at SummerSlam, with the speculation that the American Nightmare would do a double turn against Cena, although Cena's face turn 2 days before on SmackDown preceded this. However, WrestleVotes claims there are currently no plans in the foreseeable future to turn Cody Rhodes heel. The recent wave of online speculation, some of which was intentionally fueled by Cody himself, was a strategic bit of misdirection aimed at the more hardcore audience. Do you think WWE made the right decision not turning him heel? Next up, Nick Khan confident fans will follow WWE to ESPN. Now, are fans really willing to shell out $29.95 for PLEs after years of getting them on the WWE Network and later on Peacock for $9.95? Well, that's a big question, but WWE President Nick Khan thinks fans will make the switch, telling the Varsity Show, "I think we demonstrated to Peacock our subs will follow. They certainly all followed from the WWE Network, and that expanded that subscribership extensively with Peacock. There's obviously other product at Peacock to watch, which our other fans who primarily subscribe for us were able to sample. Some will be the case with ESPN, and we're excited for that. Fans getting the ESPN subscription will get other content, but the price point could be a deal breaker." Next up, is Gunther happy with his pro wrestling accomplishments? Now, how does WWE superstar Gunther feel about his achievements in WWE? Well, during an appearance on the Undertaker's 6 Feet Under podcast, the former 2-time World Heavyweight Champion and longest reigning IC Champion revealed that his many accomplishments in the wrestling world don't impress him. For me personally, wrestling accolades, in our bubble they're good achievements, but when I'm outside of that, it's not really, I don't know. I don't want to put stress on my life for that. Before WrestleMania, there was this whole deal where like, is it going to be the main with Jay and stuff like that? You catch yourself a little bit where you're like, oh yeah, it should be, it's for the title. But then you kick out of it and you go, at the end of the day, if I look my son in the face and tell him, son, I'm main event to WrestleMania, he's not going to give an F about that. You gotta put things into perspective a little bit sometimes. Now it sounds like Gunther has clear-cut priorities on his life. Nonetheless, that doesn't mean that he's dissatisfied with his direction in WWE. I really enjoyed working for the company right now. The people I work with, I enjoy working with them. Yeah, I fulfilled my contract that I have right now and kinda like ride along. I try to get better every time I step into the ring. It's like the small things, they just carry on all the time. It's not really like, I gotta win this now or I gotta achieve this. Gunther has accomplished many things during his WWE career so far, including wildly successful runs in NXT UK, NXT and the main roster. With Brock Lesnar back in WWE, some fans believe they'll finally get to see the long-awaited Lesnar vs Gunther match. Next up, WWE main roster call-up incoming. WrestleVotes also claims that WWE officials see a lot in Sol Rucker, and that we're told that there are several people within WWE, some with direct influence on the main roster, who absolutely love Sol Rucker and think the world of her potential. The 25-year-old superstar is also WWE Women's Speed Champion, but does Speed exist anymore? Next up, a creepy stalker went too far. During an appearance on the Cheap Heat show, Rhea Ripley talked about an incident where someone showed up to her door. I had someone rock up on Valentine's Day this past Valentine's Day, and luckily I was in Australia, cause I was like just staring into my ring camera. She left a poem under my door saying that like we're the sun and the moon and we're meant to be together. Rhea explained that some fans have a sense of entitlement when it comes to their favorite superstars, which creates these types of creeptastic situations. Ripley admitted she's glad she wasn't home when the individual showed up. If I was home, I would have answered the door and I would have been so uncomfortable, and I didn't want to feel uncomfortable in my own damn house. Like, that's just not okay. Everyone should have their space to go home and relax and not have to worry about someone random looking through your window or knocking at your door. Fans have recently shown that space isn't in their vocabulary. Next up, a wrestler suffers 2 strokes. Now there's some upsetting news to report as former Ring of Honor World Champion Jonathan Gresham is letting his fans know he's recovering from not 1 but 2 strokes. Here's an excerpt from the tweet Gresham sent out informing fans of his recent medical scare. 2 days ago I woke up and I couldn't walk or move the left side of my body. I couldn't see and could barely talk. It took me 30 minutes to dial 911, but I finally did. I woke up in the hospital, couldn't remember what happened. They told me I'd done an MRI and I had 2 strokes. Gresham is still unsure what caused the strokes, telling his fans, "I've had a lot of tests run, but everything has come back clean." They're not sure what happened, and the only thing they said was that there could have been a possible complication from a bad case of COVID I had a couple of weeks ago. They said we may never know the exact reason. Needless to say, I'll be taking the next 2 to 4 weeks off from wrestling to recover and get cleared fully by my neurologist. The 37-year-old wrestler said his wife Jordan Gray saw him being taken out of their home thanks to a ring camera and flew back to him to be by his side. We'll continue monitoring the story and send our best wishes to Jonathan Gresham for a fast and full recovery. Next up, a Pyro accident happened at SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar's explosive return at SummerSlam is still being talked about, but one fan who attended the event had something else to discuss: how he was accidentally showered with fireworks during the Beast Incarnate's entrance. Whilst the fan was filming the return of Brock Lesnar, some of the pyro struck him right in the arm, almost burning him. It's believed that the fan was okay and the pyro did not burn through his clothes. Brock was definitely targeting that John Cena shirt, right? Next up, WWE Partners with King of the Hill. It looks like there's no end in sight to WWE's ability to promote products on its show, in this case the popular animated sitcom King of the Hill. The beloved show recently returned after a 15-year hiatus, and now WWE is joining other brands in promoting their show. Variety recently reported on several marketing tie-ins to promote the show, including sponsorship deals with NASCAR, Whataburger, and WWE. For WWE's Friday Night SmackDown show in Boston on August 15th, a custom wrestling mat will feature King of the Hill signage, and King of the Hill digital creative will be shown throughout the arena. WWE superstars Sheamus and Johnny Gargano will create videos inspired by moments from the show. This isn't the first time a show has cashed in on a WWE product, as we all remember Priest and Miz fighting off the Army of the Dead. What is a nice little fact though is that a wrestler actually took part in King of the Hill a long time ago, that being legendary WWE Hall of Famer Macho Man Randy Savage. Next up, NXT Europe Not Happening. Will WWE ever launch its NXT Europe division? Well, not according to this week's Observer, which had this snippet regarding the long-rumored expansion into Europe. In WWE, virtually all talk about NXT Europe is non-existent. WWE shut down its NXT UK division several years ago with the talk the promotion would launch a European division, expanding its scope. However, nothing has come about since. Do you think NXT Europe has been fully cancelled? Next up, a former WWE champion quits wrestling. Jack Hager has announced his retirement from wrestling. Hager won the WWE's World Heavyweight Championship in 2010 during his run there as Jack Swagger, told Soraya that he's moving on to a new career. Hager spoke with his colleague on the Rule Breakers with Saraya show saying, "I'm getting out of wrestling. I can say I'm retired from it. I started a trucking company and so running routes through Tampa and Florida. I'm excited, something to stick my teeth into, you know, hard work always pays off." And Jake said that he's doing this largely so he can spend more time with his family, and while it's never say never, he's focused on his current job. Hager did admit that he might hit the independent circuit later, a move which many former wrestlers have found to be lucrative and more manageable than working under contract for a wrestling promotion. And finally, The Undertaker criticizes the WWE locker room. Last but not least, The Undertaker isn't happy with some current WWE talent's backstage activities. Speaking on his 6 Feet Under podcast, Taker criticized wrestlers saying, "For me, I'm a notoriously old school dude. It's disheartening sometimes when I go to the shows and if you can even find talent backstage watching matches, like most of them are filming TikToks, doing all this other stuff. Even when I was on the road full time, if you weren't sitting there watching the monitor, it was going to be a bad day for you." Is Undertaker right with his take on things, or is he now out of touch with the current product? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.